Thank you all so much for 2,000 subscribers. It's hard to put into words just how much that means to me. To celebrate, I decided to do a Q&A. Here are the questions you all asked and my answers. Art Kid Likes Games had 4 questions for me. First, do you believe the Knight is the Shade Lord or something else? Personally, I interpret the Shade Lord as being a sort of collective consciousness that includes the Knight in addition to other shades, probably the same ones that rise up during the final phase of the regular Radiance fight, which could explain why it has multiple eyes. Second, do you draw? Yes, pretty often. I've never done digital art, but I've made a lot of traditional drawings. Third, what's your favorite color? Any shade of blue, with purple as a close second. Finally, is this the Krusty Krab? No, this is Patrick. Luigi63 asks, what is your favorite Hollow Knight NPC and boss? My favorite NPC is the White Lady, as I mentioned in my video about my top 10 favorite Hollow Knight NPCs a while back. As for my favorite boss, probably the Radiance, but not absolute Radiance. I'll make a video on my top 10 Hollow Knight bosses sometime. Galaxy Eyes Garchomp had a couple of questions. First is, what got you into Hollow Knight? Simply, my friend introduced me to it, and I thought it sounded interesting. As for how she got into it, according to her, she saw the game on display at Best Buy and thought the knight looked cute, so she wanted to look into the game. Their second question is, as somebody who has autism, do you have any sort of anxiety when recording videos? For context, I had previously mentioned being autistic in reply to a comment of theirs. I did initially, as I have never much liked hearing my voice recorded, which is why I speak unusually slow in some of my earlier videos. I've definitely gotten used to it now though, and I feel a lot more comfortable with doing so to the point where I don't think much of it. It's still probably my least favorite part of the video making process, but I don't necessarily dislike it in any way. January asks, since I recall you watched Steven Universe, what is your favorite SU character and why? That's a bit tough since I really like a lot of the characters. I love Ruby and Sapphire and the romance between them, as well as how Garnet embodies their relationship. I have a special affinity for Lapis Lazuli as I personally connect with her in a lot of ways, so if I have a singular favorite, it's probably her. Kai asked, have you watched The Owl House, unaware of what my next weekly upload at that point was going to be about. The fact that I made a video about it should answer the question. Lena asks, what is your favorite part of making theories? There's a lot to love about it, but I think I like being part of the community and putting my own interpretations out there, possibly even bringing something entirely new to the table that no one else has thought of or discussed yet. Tanya asks, what character do you relate to the most? It can be from any piece of media. That would have to be Raven from the 2003 Teen Titans series. Pavel the Bug Fan asks, what is your favorite average/below average charm like Glowing Womb or Fury of the Fallen? I made a video about my top 10 favorite charms, and multiple of the ones I put on that list would probably be considered average by most, such as Thorns of Agony and Spore Shroom. Deven asks, what does your daily life look like? Pretty much the same as your average American middle-class 23-year-old. I'm currently living with my parents and attending grad school online while working hourly jobs in the meantime. Mubba asks, face reveal when? You can go to my Twitter or Instagram if you want to see what I look like. I may post a picture of myself on here specifically sometime, although I'm not sure exactly when. Trevor Vandell asks, if the sun is 150 million kilometers away from the Earth and mayonnaise is indeed an instrument, what color do you hear when you drink lifeblood? Blue, obviously. Anything having to do with lifeblood must be blue. Bet you didn't think I'd actually answer that one. Fluffy Faven asks, what are your favorite films/movies? Really too many to count, but my number one favorite is The Iron Giant. Lauda asks, what are you most excited for in Silksong? This should come as no surprise, but getting more lore. The world that these games take place in is very interesting, and I'm enthusiastic to learn more about it. Prince Henrik has a few questions. First, if God Home mode is canon, then why does the God Home ending replay if it already happened? I think I've discussed it in previous videos, but to sum up, Godseeker mode seems to take place in its own self-contained universe or timeline that occurs after the Godmaster endings. Second, is Un a worm or just a higher being? Other than appearance, what differentiates a worm and higher being? What sets worms apart seems to be their ability to transform, like how the worm that appeared in Kingdom's Edge shed its shell to become the Pale King. Third, are you going to do theories for other games or stick to Hollow Knight and hopefully Silksong? My upcoming videos on media besides Hollow Knight will include lore and theory discussions. Spirality asks, why did you choose the Lifeblood Core name? It's kind of a long story, but I wanted something Hollow Knight related that sounded cool and had some interesting lore behind it. I had several ideas, but Lifeblood Core just ended up being the one I liked best according to those parameters. Finally, Dist asks, do you still play Hollow Knight or are you only interested in lore and theories now? And what are your plans for YouTube content in the future? I don't play the game as often as I used to unless there's a new mod that I'm particularly interested in. I haven't necessarily lost interest in the game, I just have plenty of other games in my Steam library yet to be played that I'm working through. As for my content plans, in the immediate future I'll continue what I'm doing now, posting a Hollow Knight video every other week while posting videos about other media in between those. I will probably do the same once Silksong comes out, although I will want to spend a good amount of time with the game before I come up with anything concrete to say about it. If I ever run completely out of Hollow Knight or Silksong video ideas in the distant future, then all of my uploads will be about other media. Either way, I'm looking forward to every bit of it. Thank you all for your questions. Since it means a lot to me that you watch my content, I wanted to put myself out there in a more personal way to connect with you guys. Here's to more connections to come. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next time.